Welcome to GTM Education, and today we're going to look at how to use Seneca to get a grade 9 in GCSE Maths. So I would state that this will be one of the most important videos you will watch, and further down the line more and more important videos in different categories. So the presentations are purposely not done in detail. That is something that is very important. I am not someone that's going to just list a lot of things in the presentations where you're just going to just blatantly read. That's not what my purpose is. My purpose is for you to focus on your attention on what is being said, because what I'm being said is something that you should be able to get inside your brains, because it's something that will be very essential. And I would urge you to turn your captions on to hear and read at the same time to see what I'm saying. And going back to that previous point I made, it's about being very active when it comes to your learning, not being passive. So when you have your captions on and you read at the same time what I'm saying and listen to what I'm saying as well, rather than just reading from a presentation. If you're physically seeing what I've been saying below on the captions, it's something that will be very useful, and it will get inside your brain as well. So there are some important things that you have to consider when watching this video. There are some important things that I urge you to do before you go into the interesting part, specifically whatever topic this video is about. Before we get into that, I would urge you to listen to what I say in this video and make some notes as well, rather than just listening, being very unfocused. We don't want to see that. I would urge you to sit down, have a laptop in front of a table, and have a pen and paper, getting ready to make some notes as you listen and watch my video. Or I would urge you to watch this video first, then watch it again and make notes. And another thing is I tell you to adjust the speed, because some of you guys may think I'm speaking too slow and it is getting boring. I've done this in a number of videos. When I watch a video, I find it too slow, so I increase the speed on the video to times 1.25, times 1.5, times 2, because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't realize the thing that we're always losing is time. Every second goes by is time that is being wasted. So if I'm speaking too fast, on the other hand, you can do the opposite according to your preference by changing to times 0.75, times 0.5, and times 0.25 as you get the picture. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about the amount of times you watch this video. It's about gaining this knowledge, using this knowledge, and making an impact on yourself and making a change and really getting closer and closer to what your dream and passion is. So that is very important. These are important things that you must consider, and I urge you to take this advice on, because I do not want to see students that just wake up and watch this video, or when I see students eating breakfast and watching this video, or when I see students just not focused at all. They're going on somewhere on holiday and they're just watching this video. That's not something that I want to see. I want you to be focused, listen carefully, and focus on what is being said and taking the advice and acting according to the advice I provide. So, are you guys ready for the lesson? Your focus should be on the video. Any distractions such as phones, laptops, consoles should be put away. I know some of you guys might be saying that you're studying and you're playing on your PS4 or PS5 or your Xbox, and you're saying that you're watching a video and you tell your parents you're revising. I've seen students do that. And another one of you guys, put your device on Do Not Disturb, because I see people just scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or any other social media while watching this video. And I would urge you to say that this is your loss at the end of the day. If you're not focused on this, there's no point of watching this video, and I would rather you save the video to your watch later and come back and watch it at another time when you're focused, because that is more beneficial. I don't want to waste your time. At the same time, you shouldn't waste your own time as well. So if you're doing something else, do not watch this video when you have the time, when you believe it's the right time, that you'll take on this advice and be very efficient with the way you're going to focus on this lesson and focus on the video. That is something that is very important. So let's get right into the video. So before we get into the video, many of you guys may ask me, who am I and why you should trust my advice? And in terms of the first thing is the fact that I have received a grade 9 in GCSE Maths as well. I was one of the first few cohorts to take the GCSEs, so I have the experience from what is different from 9 to 1 from the A-star, the old A-star system. And secondly, I do have first-hand experience. I have been in your position. I know what it takes to get a grade 9. I have achieved it myself in a lot of my GCSEs. So when it comes to GCSE maths, getting a grade 9 is something that I believe is very simple. And there is something that differs from me when you compare it to your teachers. They haven't been able to take the grade 9 to 1 GCSEs. They were able to have a lot easier GCSEs with the old A-star to F system. So getting a grade 9 is much more different. It's a different experience in my opinion. So I have been in that position, and I believe the advice that I provide will be very, very useful in the videos that you watch from me, and it is something that you should trust, because many of you may ask, who is this man, who is this person giving you advice? I believe it is very, very essential. And I have experienced what my grade 9 friends do. I've experienced what my friends that do not get grade 9 do, or not even pass at the same time. I have been with a different crowd of people. I know what the smart people do to get a grade 9, what the people that are smart but don't put the effort in, that don't get a grade 9 or even get a grade 4 to at least pass an exam. So I know the whole spectrum. It's not as if I was someone that was just being with the people that was only smart. I was with the people that were also messing about as well. So I know how the things are done, and you may be one of those people that are messing about right now when your GCSEs are coming very, very close, and you may be one of those people that is working very hard, making sure that you get a grade 9 in GCSE maths particularly, and other subjects as well. So I've also used my expertise in experiencing it, in actually taking the GCSEs and seeing what my friends done that was right, seeing what my friends done that was wrong, and then I took it on board to start tutoring students to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths. And I've tutored students that have got a grade 9 in GCSE maths, and in other GCSEs that I've tutored as well. So I know that my teaching capabilities is something that has been very, very essential to the students that I tutor. So I have taken that advice, that recommendation for me to start a YouTube channel, to start expressing what the ways to do things, the secret tips that no other YouTuber will provide or your teachers will provide. So I have taken on board that advice and started a YouTube channel. And many may ask the question why this advice is free, because normally when you tutor, you do get paid beforehand to tutor a particular thing, to provide advice, etc. So this advice being free on YouTube, the main question could be something that runs through your minds: why this advice is free? Is this advice not as valuable as paid advice? That's not something that I'm looking to differentiate. I find all advices that I provide very, very important. Whether it be free or paid, the advice still remains the same. So when it comes to why it's been free, it's the fact that I want to change the perspective that getting a grade 9 in GCSE maths or any other GCSE is hard, because a lot of students are doing it the wrong way, learning the wrong way, understanding the topics the wrong way. There are a lot of things that I've seen that students, such as myself when I was in your position, have been doing things the wrong way and have regretted it later on down the years. And when you move on from GCSEs to A-levels to university and then to a job, these experiences is something that will be vital as you move along that ladder as you get older and older. So the way to be done, the way it should be done is something that I'm going to advise in this video. So you should trust my advice and you should learn from it and take on what's being said and change and act according to the things I provide you. So many of you may now start to worry that what I've just said, it might have hit you very hard, suggesting that maybe you've been doing things the wrong way around, but you do not have to worry, because life is difficult. And when it comes to GCSEs, that is the first big thing that a lot of students, literally any person, has found as a major hurdle in their life. Because when you think about GCSEs, it's a big thing, it's a big exam, it's a lot of exams, a lot of focus. And if you ask any adult that has studied, lived in the UK and has taken GCSEs, they'll say that's the first step to knowing what life really is, and that's something that we learn from GCSEs. But you do not have to worry, because you may have had that reality check, but you don't need to worry, because you will need to take my advice and change, because I believe that my advice is very, very strong. I've been told that you're a good teacher, you know how to express things, and for me, I'm not going to be like those YouTubers that have a lot of transitions, a lot of changes, a lot of things moving around. All I need from you guys is to just focus, and any video that provides advice that is very, very valuable will be something that will be taken on. So I do not really worry about making my videos look very aesthetically pleasing. I do not have that in my mindset. I do not have the time to focus on that. I rather focus on what is the best advice I can provide that can really be beneficial towards you getting that grade 9 in your GCSE maths. So to refresh your mind, I would urge you to do something active before you continue watching the video. That is something that I urge, because right now a lot of students, as I stated, are learning things the wrong way. A lot of you guys are doing still passive learning rather than learning actively, and that is something that I will touch upon later down the videos, or maybe in this video as well. So in terms of you guys, make sure you do something active. If you want to do something active, an idea that I would have is to give this video a like if you have liked this video so far, because that is something where you're physically having to escape from the screen. Go and clicking that button is something that is seen active, or you can have a walk around as well. But if you're going to go and give this video a like, if you're liking the video already, listening to literally no nonsense information, straight to the point, straight to the facts, I would urge you to subscribe to the channel as well, so that you don't miss future videos. I would really urge you for that, because I would be uploading on a consistent basis, hopefully. So if you subscribe to the channel, you won't miss future videos and the advice that I provide. If you find this video so far very, very beneficial, then imagine the advice I provide in the further videos. And if you're subscribed, you will be one of the first people to access those videos. And people do pay a lot of money for the advice that I provide in my videos, so subscribing to the channel would be a good idea to get access to my videos for free. And the next thing, not just getting access to my videos for free, but being one of the first people to get access to my videos, because if you're one of the first people, you can take on that easier, you can act on that quicker, and you could be ahead of the other people. And at the end of the day, life is literally a competition. It's between you versus the rest of the people that are taking GCSEs for this particular scenario. Everything is a competition in terms of you always going to be facing other people. If it's an interview, if it's a job, if it's a place at university, if it's a sixth form you're going to apply for. So there are a lot of things where you're going to be competing with others. So subscribing to the channel and having that post notification bell on is something that will be very essential, since you'll be one of the first people to be able to click on my videos, watch my video, take on the advice, and be ahead of the curve. So that is something that you guys should do, so you won't be worried about what GCSEs or how it's going to affect you, but you could be ahead of the curve and really ace those GCSEs, and in particular right now GCSE maths in this video. So in terms of the first thing we're going to look at, it is obviously how to create a Seneca account, and you can do this by going to Seneca and creating your own accounts on Seneca itself. Then after you have created your own accounts on Seneca, you can click on the course Maths edexcel GCSE Higher if you're doing the edexcel board, and if you're doing AQA, you can choose the AQA board. OCR, you choose the OCR board. So you choose the boards that is necessary towards you. And when you go to your course, you have to find the topic that you want to learn from, and that is how you get started onto the course. It is the way to use Seneca, but I'm going to show you a demonstration and secret to using grade 9 in GCSE maths to get that using Seneca. So as I just mentioned, we're going to look at the demonstration and secrets to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths, and I'm going to change it from this part of the PowerPoint presentation into a video format of a screen recording of me telling you how to use Seneca to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths. But just to give you guys some pointers while you're doing the lesson in Seneca, you shouldn't cheat to check back for the answer. So this is something that I'll discuss as we look at my demonstration and the secrets I use to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths using Seneca in a different video, which will carry on after this part of the video. And you should make sure you have read what has been given and do the questions as well. Those are some important things. So as we go to this new change in the video, when we transition to the new part where I show you how to use Seneca itself, everything will get a lot more clearer, and it will be the secrets and demonstrations that I will be teaching you guys to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths. I would urge you to take some notes, but if you watch the starting of the video, you know how I recommend you do things. And if you need to, as I always said, if you watch this video, if you need to watch it again, don't be ashamed of doing that. Watch it as many times as long as you get inside your brain. So we have now transitioned from the presentation in terms of how to use Seneca, and I highlighted some points in the presentation, and now we're going to look physically at how I use Seneca, literally from the bare basics into terms of how to creating accounts, in terms of how to using it, how to literally going into Seneca. So it will be a very simple process, and I will show you guys how I do it as we go along in this video. So in terms of the first thing is the fact that you have to type in Seneca Learning into the Google search, and when you go into Seneca Learning, you can go into this part over here. This segment is very important. You can see that how well adversed Seneca Learning is. You can see that teachers can use it for free, parents can use it for free. There's other certain things as well. But when I used Seneca Learning, we were one of the first few cohorts to use Seneca. We were at the stage where Seneca was just being introduced. We just had the first segment, which just had Seneca Learning on it. But now it's developed so much, and you can see that it's a free revision tool for GCSE and A-level exams. And it's an opportunity to join over 6.5 million students learning 2 times faster across 250 plus exam board specific A-level, GCSE and Key Stage 3 courses. So it's a great opportunity, a great learning environment to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths, as that's what we're looking particularly in this video. And you can see how difficult it is comparing the fact that if you're looking at 6.5 million students, I assume that is the number of students taking a GCSE. I don't know the exact numbers, but it is a few million, so I don't know the exact million, to be honest. That's a rough estimate, but let's go inside how to use Seneca. So you go inside the website, and you can see over here, you can allow them to use cookies to understand how it can be improved. You can use that, and you can see over here there are some questions answered every single day. You can see the certain topics, such as it's proven to make you learn 2 times faster, the fastest growing homework and revision platform in the UK. You can see the reviews that some teachers and parents have made over here, and you can see how focused they are. So you guys can check this in your own time when you go into the Seneca Learning websites. Check these things along and see how really good it is compared, because it's not just a few students that are doing this. As they mentioned, 6.5 million students, and this is not just for GCSE maths only. It could be useful for all these subjects over here. You can see over here, such as English literature, you got food preparation and nutrition, sociology, Spanish. You can see that this goes on, but we're looking specifically at GCSEs. And in particular GCSE maths, but you can see over here you can even go all the way down to Key Stage 2. So this is a very good platform, and I urge you guys to use this. And when it comes to signing up, this is a very simple process. You can choose your region if you need to. Look at this in 4 different countries at this moment in time, in UK, USA, Brazil and Mexico, but we're obviously part of the UK. So we're going to go into the sign up button. So we're going to click the sign up button over here, and let's go inside. So as we go inside, you can either continue with Google, continue with Microsoft, sign up with email, but I like to keep it in my Google account. So I'm going to continue with Google. So I'm going to sign in. So I'm going to just put in a new account that is basically based on this email address on GCM Education. So we're going to use that and then enter the password as well. So let me quickly enter the password, and we click next. So we've now moved into the next segments, into the Seneca Learning websites, and you can fill in the necessary items. You will normally see like a pop-up screen asking what school you're from, like a 3-step process where you can move on to. But if we go inside, you can answer these things such as sign up, find your school, add 3 courses, answer 50 questions, solve 3 memories. So it's like a challenge, and that's the good thing about Seneca. It suits guys like yourself. You're very young, and it's an opportunity to learn in a fun way, and it won't seem like revision. That's the best part about Seneca. Yes, you do might have to find it sometimes strenuous, sometimes a little bit difficult, but at this moment in time, you guys are very young, and it's an opportunity to learn at a good opportunity and a good way to learn for literally on a free basis, and at the same time on a fun basis as well. And that's the way I think, because the students right now, we're so entertained by a number of things. We can swipe on TikTok and change every 10 seconds, 15 seconds, there's a new thing popping up. The same with YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, so on. The world is changing in a way. So our attention span is decreasing lower and lower. So Seneca is a good way to learn. I mentioned the reasons why you should use Seneca. If you haven't checked that video out, I'll leave a card at the top of the screen, so you can check this video out another time, and you can save it to your watch later if you want to watch it another time as well. But that's a very good video indicating why you must use Seneca to get a grade 9 in GCSE Maths. And this video, as we're going to look at how to use Seneca. So since we're looking at GCSE Maths, we can go to the courses over here, and this is an opportunity for classes and assignments where teachers can get involved as well. So that's something that I sometimes using when I tutor students as well. As a teacher, I can use this ability, and it's something that is free, so it's very, very good to use. So we're going to look at GCSE Maths, so we can just type in GCSE Maths, and we should be able to see a course popping up. But if we do not, we can go to the courses section, or we can just click the add a course, and we can search for a course over here. So we can go to GCSE Maths. Let's hopefully see this pop up this time. It's taking some time to search for a course, but we'll have to wait for a little while, or we can just follow the things on the steps over here. So you can go to free, and we got the first thing that pops up here. So I think you have to click one of these filters first, and then we can quickly go to it. Since we're looking at edexcel, for instance, and that's the board that I chose when I was doing my GCSEs, that's the board that the school chose for me. So edexcel is something that I recommend doing, and we can go into the GCSE High. We can add this course and we can start learning. But something that you can recommend that you can see here, you can see Max edexcel A-level preparation summer 2021. So if you look at this GCSE segment, you can go down and check what things you like. There's all sorts of courses at all sorts of moments in time, but this edexcel GCSE higher course is what I recommend. So we can see over here, you can select your school to join. I don't go to school at this moment in time. That's years that have went past me by now. So selecting your school to join, definitely choose a school that you choose, and you can have like a school leaderboard. You can use your memories. You can use it as an opportunity to have a competition, because as I mentioned at the start of this video, or if you haven't watched this video, it's how to have the secret mentality to get a grade 9 in GCSE Maths. I'll give you a little hints of what I stated, but also show it at the top of your screen if you want to check this video out, or in the description in terms of the other videos, or in the playlist if you check my channel out. It's the secret mentality to get grade 9 GCSE Maths, and you have to get that into your mindset that you're competing against other students, and there are students all across the world, that are all across the UK, that are taking this GCSE Maths. So you have to have that in your mindset, and this itself shows the mentality. Seneca is very good. I think the key things that I demand from my students that I tutor, this is something that we can see. You can see that the students are competing with each other. As you can see here, I do assume that says Oxford High School. They are currently the highest position right now. So we like to see the students fight with each other to get that competition, because imagine this was a running race, or imagine this was schools against schools, where you have the football competitions, the basketball competitions, the netball competitions, where schools face each other. Imagine it like that, but this is GCSEs, and you're facing the rest of the students, whether it be in your school or whether it be outside your school. And it's an opportunity to gain some memories as well. You can look around. This is like a fun element. This is the memes and gifs that we are talking about, where you can divert your brain at the end of a assignment, so you can choose where this particular place, where do you assume it is on the map. That's something that I was very enjoying when I was doing Seneca. I was using it at the very early stages of its developments. We were one of the first cohorts to take the GCSE Maths, so that's something that we realized. So it's something that I recommend to a large extent. So we're going to look at one of these things. We can see here that we got courses here. We got number. You can use using numbers, fractions, decimals, percentages. This whole lots, literally the whole lots. And we can go to one thing, like if you're looking at triangular formulae, you can look at Pythagoras' theorem, trigonometry, sine, cosine rules, trigonometry and area, and this is the key segments, exam style questions. So it's a very, very interesting topic, this one. This is a very, very interesting opportunity to learn. There are topics that are there is stating 4.9.3, 4.9.4, and if you go to the edexcel specification, so if you type in edexcel, if you go to Google, and so you can see the screen, so if you're going to Google and you want to type in edexcel GCSE specification, which is something that I will do a video later on in the future, how to use a specification to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths. So if you go to edexcel specification and maths GCSE, so we can get that right there and put 2022 so that we can see that as well. So the specification is very, very important. If I could find this specification, that will be very interesting, but it's been a long time since I found it. I think it is this one. This is coming from a website. I assume this is coming from another external website, but there should be a specification. It's been a long time since I searched, but I do recommend my students to have a look at that. And in terms of specification, this is the one I'm looking for. And in terms of GCSE maths, this is perfect. This is the one that you go to, and you go to the specification in terms of higher tier. So if you're going to look at higher tier, since we want to get grade 9 in GCSE maths, this is the segment, numbers, and equations, formulae, and identities, so on and so forth. And if you look here, if you want to do a little bit of comparison, this is geometry and trigonometry. And if you go to Seneca learning, if you go to the number 4, it's geometry, and it literally follows what is going on this side. If you look at number 5, vectors and transformation geometry, this is looking at, it's a real similar thing. It's literally based off this specification. If you look at the last part, number 6 is statistics and probability, and if you look at number 6 over here, it's statistics and certain things. They took it as 2 different segments, but you get the picture over here. So Seneca is literally brilliant. I wouldn't recommend it highly enough. It's that useful. So we're going to look at how I would do a particular topic and how to look at those points I mentioned when I stated demonstration and secrets to getting a grade 9 in GCSE maths. One thing I said, that do not look back and do not cheat yourself. That's something I mentioned in there, and to make the most out of the questions that are being answered. So let's look at something. One of these topics here. So let's go with something a little bit more interesting. Let's go with the straight line graphs, and let's start off with this topic over here, 2.4.1 straight line graphs. So this is an opportunity to learn. So you've joined over 5 million students learning 2 times faster. So congrats to yourself if you watched this video and gaining access to Seneca, learning about Seneca for the first time, because this is the number 1 tool to gaining the fundamental knowledge. And you can see the funny gifs over here to make you focus, go somewhere else at the same time, focus on the start learning tab as well. So it tells you what to do. So you go to start learning, and this is an opportunity to learn. So you got coordinates. So you're learning about coordinates, and you got coordinates involving plotting an x horizontal coordinate and a y vertical coordinate as well. So this is important. Coordinates involve plotting an x coordinate and a y coordinate, and you can learn how you want to learn. I don't read it out loud. I normally read it in my mind. Some people read it out loud, some people read it in their mind, and it's showing an example here. So it's showing 0.21, so it's showing the 0.21 which is over here, so there's images there to illustrate what's going on. The 0.21 has an x coordinate at 2, and which is the horizontal, so the x coordinate is at 2, and the y coordinate at 1, which is the vertical. So we know our horizontals and verticals. So you got the 1 over here, and we got the 2 over here. So we go to the next part, and then it's saying the x-axis is the horizontal axis. On the axis, the y-coordinates is 0. And what I normally do is I do not like this typing speed, so I sometimes put it on 2.5 for want to, if it depends on you, but I normally put it on off, so it will come straight away as this. So then it makes it easier for me to read, because everyone reads quicker than the speed at which it types. So it's stating here the x-axis is the horizontal axis. So it's the x-axis, we got the letter x, it's the horizontal axis, and the y-coordinates is 0. So as you can see, because since it is 0, the y-coordinate is 0, because we're not moving anywhere, we're staying right in the 0 segments of y. And in terms of y-axis is the vertical axis, on the y-axis the x-coordinate is 0, because at the x, if you look throughout the whole way, the x doesn't change. Is the are we moving anywhere horizontally? No. So the x remains the same. So I'm doing a little bit of teaching at the same time, so you can see how I tutor as well. But there's a question there for you. So it asks what are the coordinates of point D, and if we're going to look at point D, so you can see over here you got minus 10 to 20. So we always do along this corridor, then up these stairs. So we always start off with x. So we start off with D. If you look at D there, if you work out, it's minus 15. So it's going to be minus 15 something. So what's that other coordinate? We can what we have to use this, and this is where I say do not cheat. We don't want you to go behind and check what the y coordinate is. That's something that I do not recommend you guys doing. So as you can tell that my fans were getting a little bit too loud, so I thought let me let my laptop cool down and let the volume let me express myself. So you might have gotten a little bit loud at the bottom, so I thought let me go back to this, let me pause the recording and come back to it. So that's what I've been able to do. So I was explaining that over here. So as we go back to what we're looking at, we were looking at what are the coordinates of point D, and the purpose behind this, you can see this is on purpose, what are the coordinates behind of point D. And in point D, we looked at minus 15, 0, and that's basically the answer, because we know that x is equal to 0, because it's literally on this part of the, y is equal to 0, because we know that it's not moving up or down, it's right in the y equals 0 segments. So we know that it's going to be 0, but the moment that I was trying to explain was that this is the part where some students would like to cheat and go back and read what it says again. Do not do that. I recommend you do not do that, because you're cheating the algorithms, assuming that you know the stuff. It's good to make mistakes. If I was to make a mistake, it will help you at the end of the day. Do not try to cheat the thing that, oh, you want to get 100% in every single one, because you're going to be affecting yourself at the end of the day. I see students do that, and then I have to tell them do the Seneca learning in front of my eyes in my tuition lessons. So do that as well. Do not do that, and listen to what I say. When it comes to using the coordinates, make sure you use, do not make your eyes go up here. Just focus just here, so we know that. And Seneca purposely does this, because we just looked at the two axes we just looked at was the y coordinate is 0 if it's on the x-axis, and if it's on the y-axis the x-coordinate is 0. So we're just using that segment, and what is the question about is asking what is the x-coordinate is and what the y-coordinate is. And this is a segment where it's on the x-axis, so what will the y be? So we're going to use this knowledge, but it doesn't mean you go back up there and check what it is. That's where you're cheating yourself, and that's the thing that I mentioned at the PowerPoint. Do not cheat yourself by scrolling back up. Do not do that. You can use this on your phone, you can use this on the laptop, you can use this literally in any device, so make the most out of it. So we know that the answer here is minus 15, 0, and you do get a little sound which is a bit too loud, but watching this video you can see over here that we can watch a video as well. They'll give you a video to watch. So it's teaching you how to watch algebra basics, graphing on the coordinate plane. So if you want to, we don't want to get any copyright issues, so I would put this video on a mute, and it will explain what is going on, plots x, y, and explaining what's going on at this moment in time, so we can see what's going on. That's they're explaining to do how to use this, and you probably can watch this video and learn from this segments, and it's all in Seneca itself, so you can make the most out of it and use this as an opportunity to learn. So practically, as you can see from Seneca Learning, they know what they are doing. You watch this part of the segment, you get you learn a little bit about the x-axis where the y-coordinate is 0, the y-axis where the x-coordinate is 0. You learn a little bit about what an x-coordinate is, what a y-coordinate is, and it shows an explanation. Then you get a question which makes the use out of both of this, where you can use what this number is, work out what the x-coordinate is, and work out what the y-coordinate is, and make use out of it. So you get a question, then to recap your knowledge once more, you get a video. So you can watch the video, and it will go for a certain period of time, then it will go to the next segment by itself. So I'm going to skip just for this video. So in terms of going to the next video, you get the point where you get to straight line graphs. So you're learning a different topic now. What is a vertical line? So it's written as x equals 2. So whenever you get a vertical line on a certain number, so if it's in the middle, it would be x equals 1.5 between both of these. If it's in the lines in the middle, if you're now going to look at horizontal lines, you know what's going to happen if it's on the line, or if it's on the y equals 1 segments. If it's on this line, we know all of this will be y equals 1, because we know that this coordinate is not going to move up or down. It's all in the same position. If we were to imagine it, it's not moving further up or down, so we know it's going to be y equals 1, because if you look at this thing, is it going any further up? No, it's not. Is it going any further down? No. So it's just staying all in one place. So the one place it's staying at is where y equals 1. So then you've got the next part where you're stating stuff such as straight lines through the origin. So you can see over here, we can use sloping lines as y equals mx. It tells you the gradient, and so on, so forth. It's going to turn into me just explaining what straight line graphs are. So you can see the benefits of Seneca. Use this, learn it properly. When you're learning this, learn it properly. If you want to make notes, you can. Some people like to write this, but it has to be passive. Sometimes I like to learn just by reading it out loud and listening to myself as I speak loud. Or you can try to understand, read this in your mind, try to work it out. Some people like to learn like that. Everyone learns different, but it has to be passive. That's important. And not be passive, it has to be active. And passive is the last thing. Just don't read this like when you're nearly about to fall asleep, and you just watch it reading this. You barely read it, and then you just read it as if you're reading a book, and just quickly go like this. It's not going to make sense at the end of the day. That's the difference between getting grade 5 or grade 4 and getting a grade 9. Because this knowledge that they provide you has to go inside your brain. That's very, very important. So as we continue, they'll ask you what kind of line is x minus 6 equals 0. What line is that? So we have to use the y equals mx plus c rule. So for this segment, what I'm going to do is purposely put something different, which I put a different answer. That's the question. But you know that what we have to do is we want to get x as the subject of this equation. We want to move this minus 6 to the other side, and when you add plus 6 on both sides, and you get x equals 6. And if x equals 6, what do you know? That it's going to be a line. But what line is it going to be? So you can imagine it. If x is in a line goes through the point where x is 6, you can imagine it as a vertical line going through, and it won't move on either side. So we know this is a vertical line. So you could just type the word vertical, and it would just, I didn't even have to click enter, it goes by itself, and then you get a little gif that I've been talking about, a little meme, just giving you that encouragement, epic stuff. GTM, so that's the name that I'm using. Whatever your name you have, that's the name of the channel, GTM Education. But whatever your name is, it will be that as well. So you keep moving on, but if you get a question wrong, say what is this equation of this line? So let's just choose a random answer. We know that this is not going to be y equals 1, but you guys should know what the answer is, and we know it's y equals minus x. We know that y equals x is on this side, so if it's y equals minus 6, so even if you look at each point, if you look at 1 over here, it's 1, but if you look on the y side, it's minus 1. You can learn it that way, or you can see that this is the reflection of y equals x, so this will be y equals minus 6. So it's pretty simple. And if you want to write some feedback, they may have made some tiny errors back then when I was using Seneca. There was some little errors, and I just put in the feedback column. I just write anything there's an error in the concept, my answer should be accepted, and just write it down, and they will take advice and they will act upon it, so that other people don't have the problem, and you're helping yourself as well at the end of the day. So you continue. So you go to the continue segment, and then you continue to choose which point is at the origin. You find this out yourself. You get a bunch of questions now, so you keep moving on forward, and you get another point here. You're learning about drawing straight line graphs, and you get the message. You keep learning this. This is the most important part. When the information is given, actually listen, read it carefully, make some notes if you have to, write it on a post-it note, write it on a piece of paper. Use this information to learn properly. This is where the information is being provided. So assume this as you're reading off a revision guide, rather you're reading off the Seneca website, and this is where most students differ. The grade 9 students and the grade 5 students. The grade 9 students read this carefully, make sure they absorb the knowledge. They keep reading it until they absorb the knowledge, and they even test themselves before the questions come. So then the question might see, what do you have to do? Rearrange to get the equation into the form. They look somewhere else and say y equals mx plus c. Do you understand? So then if you're going to continue, you scroll down to continue, and we get questions after questions. And if you realize, if you purposely choose the question wrong, if you choose D and B, this thing will continue to move, and they get you get closer to the end. But if you get an answer, you get your line will get longer and longer. It'll be until you Seneca thinks, the algorithm thinks that you've actually learnt this. You get another video. This is a 1 minute video. It's not too long. Sometimes it will stop halfway through. It might stop over here and go to the next segment. So do not worry. So we're going to skip for the sake of it. Keep going on, answering the questions, and it gives you a percentage that you got right. So you got 83% in this one, and this is the most fun part. You get to choose where you want your memory to be stored, so that Seneca remembers that you've learned this topic, and you remember that you've learned this topic. So that's something that grade 9 students take the most out of, is that they learn which topics they have revised, and that's something that the students use and take most advantage of. Interesting parts about using Seneca is the opportunity to store your memory. You cannot store your memory physically in your brain. Have I memorized this topic? Either you write it down on something, but Seneca does this all for you. It's so interactive, it's so useful. It's a great opportunity to learn and know what you've learned, and if you want to choose it somewhere. So you're going to choose your straight line graphs when we really want to put it in Austria or Finland. So let's put it in Austria, and it's an opportunity to know where Austria is, and we know it's somewhere around here, so we choose it and you get a score as well. So I was very close to that. I know I got good geography knowledge as well, as you can tell from here. But it's a good job. You scored 2,656. That's just a little bit of fun and games, but it's something that you continue to see. So you get a little bit of XP. You can challenge a friend, so that you can, at the end of the day, teamwork makes the dream work. That's actually true. Get your friends involved, and this will be a competition. I see a lot of people fighting with each other on Call of Duty to get the highest KD. A lot of students fighting with each other on FIFA, who's a better FIFA player, footballer, like other stuff. I do not know particularly what the girls do, but in terms of the boys, I know exactly what they do, and I've been someone that's been doing that, challenging others in other things, but challenge each other in education as well, in your GCSEs, and you both will be able to thrive from it. It might sound cringy, it might sound a little bit something that you wouldn't want to do, but at the end of the day, as I mentioned, it's your mentality. The mentality is to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths. It's not about how your teacher's going to think of you. It's not about how your friends are going to think of you, as if you're acting very cringy, if you're acting very if I knew some slang words which I can state that everyone will understand, then that's something that I would take, if you understand what I mean. It's not about being that guy that everyone finds a little bit weird. You don't want to be that. You're doing this all to get a grade 9 at the end of the day, to get in your GCSE. So use this opportunity. Use Seneca. You can challenge a friend. You can continue. So you continue, and these are certain things to give you motivation at the end of the day. Count down to XP power hour. Get double XP from 6 to 7 p.m. every day. It's an opportunity to gain some gifts, and that moment it will give you more incentive to learn. So use this. Seneca is such a good platform. A lot of students that don't hate revision use Seneca. I was one of those students that hated revision. I couldn't handle just reading a book. I couldn't handle just sitting in one place and revising. I was especially one of those students, and I know there's a few students just like me that's watching this video, and Seneca was something that was a lifesaver for me. It's something that I used to the best of my ability and took the most advantage of, and it helped me to a very, very large extent, and I took the most out of it, and hopefully you will as well. So you continue, and you can see what you want to do. If you want to learn, how do you want to learn? Do you want to look at the wrong answers only? You can, since we've answered everything correctly so far, there's not a segment for that right now. You get notes and adaptive things that you can look at as well. But if you go to a particular topic, you can see. So you can, if you go back to the straight line graphs, you can see where you've stored your memory. You can see where the notes only, it will just show the notes so that you can just learn by yourself. That's something that I recommend. There's quizzes where it's just the questions to test yourself. So something that I recommend when using Seneca. I might do another further video on this, but when it comes to using Seneca, this is a school name, this is something which you can choose if you want to, but if you just want to see the notes only, instead of going to a revision guide, the notes that they provide here is much, much better. I recommend it to a large extent, especially for your GCSEs. Then you got notes and questions adapted to you. So if you made some mistakes, it says 83% as my best score, it will adapt those questions toward me to challenge the ones that I made a mistake in. And it shows your memory strength as well. Because at the end of the day, if you look at my mentality, it's how much you practice time and time again. And that's something that will get inside your brain. So use that. It shows how your memory is. If it's all the up there, then you know this topic very well. And that's why I tell you to not to cheat, because algorithm is very useful. Don't go back to the notes and then try to understand what it is and then try and answer the question. You're not going to do that in your exam. So you're cheating yourself at the end of the day. When you're doing the questions, your friend's not going to help you in the final exam. You're not going to have your revision guide on top of you. It's not an open book exam. None of that. So use this, treat this as an exam, treat this fairly, and you will get the best results out of it. Do not cheat yourself. I see a lot of students that cheat in my tutoring lessons, and I call each one out of them and literally give them a real warning. And that's something that I've always done. So do not do that. You're cheating yourself at the end of the day. You're here to get a grade 9. Use Seneca properly, use the methods that I've taught you, and you should be able to get closer and closer to getting a grade 9 in your GCSE maths. Use these topics properly. Adaptive, that's adapted to you. If you got some wrong answers, there'll be a wrong answers only method as well. Notes only. If you just come in and you just want to quickly do this question, what I recommend, I might do a separate video on this later on, is just if you start in Seneca and you've got like a few weeks left, use the no concepts and just the quiz questions only. Do that only for every single one. Answer every single question as quickly as possible, as if it's a quick assessment, and then go to the topics which you've made mistakes in. Those are the ones that you have to focus on. But I would also recommend just doing the Seneca. You can do this whole Seneca in literally one day. You have enough time to do this. You can do this whole Seneca for one day. If you're really focused, it could take you the whole day, 24 hours or a few days. Go through all the topics on a consistent basis. Learn everything and make the most use out of it. Recommend it. I recommend it to a large extent. Seneca is very important, and this is something that I say that if you're in that position where you don't want to revise, you literally weren't focused at all in your classes, you weren't using your teacher, you didn't do everything that was right, and you're literally in a situation where you're stuck, don't know what to do, you want to get a grade 9 in GCSE but you don't know what to do, Seneca is the lifesaver. It's the holy grail. Use this, do all the topics. It's not only for maths, we're looking at it just specifically for the video for GCSE maths, but I might do videos in the future where I change the subject and teach you how to do it perfectly. Do this advice. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give this video a like and do the following things that I recommend, and continue to thrive and get closer to getting a grade 9 in GCSE maths. Also, if you have any questions, anything, leave in the comment section below. I am always available. I will look at my comments. I might not be as active as normal, but if there's a question that I recommend answering, that I will answer. But make sure you guys answer your other friends' questions as well. Don't spend like 6 hours answering one person's friend's question because someone commented something in the comments, because you're just wasting your time at the end of the day. I will answer it if necessary. If you want to answer it as well, use the comment section below and answer it as well. It's up to you. Make the use of me. As I said, make use of your teachers, make use of me, and I will help you as much as you can. And at the end of the day, the effort you put in is the effort you'll get out, and make it that effort efficient, and you'll be very likely to get a grade 9 in your GCSE maths. If you enjoyed this video in how to use Seneca to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths, I've explained how the tricks and the demonstrations and the tips and tricks and the secrets to how to use Seneca to make you ahead of the other students, because everyone could get access to Seneca, but not everyone gets a grade 9 in any subject, and in particular in this video we're looking at GCSE maths. So to use Seneca to a large extent, to make the most out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed this video, to make sure we continue the series in getting a grade 9 in GCSE maths, I would urge you to watch this video on how to use corbettmaths after you use Seneca to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths. And this video will be on your screen, and it will be something that I recommend, because Seneca is something that can help you get that grade 9 in GCSE maths. I would say that's the first foundation segment, but that could be something that helps you solidify your work, that helps you solidify your ability to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths. But it's not the only thing that you have to do to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths, because people's minds work different, everyone is different, and that is not the only thing that I recommend to do. There are some other steps along the series and what I recommend you must do to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths. If you haven't watched the mentality video, that will also be on the top of your screen if you want to check that out. But in this video, I show you how to use corbettmaths, and this is on your screen right now, on how to get a grade 9 in GCSE maths after you use Seneca, and then you use corbettmaths straight after. So thank you for watching.